Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So, I have some simple card ideas that I want to share with you. I'm kind of on a mission to use up some of my designer paper and use up some of my scraps. So, I decided to just kind of play around with a couple different card layouts that you can really use with any designer paper scraps that you have on hand. So I'll share a couple of ideas with you today using the Turtle Friends stamp set. And I also created some cards, which I shared with you yesterday using let's see, it's Your Peach designer paper. So it's kind of the same layouts, just different paper and different stamp sets. So I kind of like to show you some ideas that you can use over and over again. So good morning. Hello, everybody. So here are some of the cards that I created. I used the Artfully Composed Designer Series paper, and then I used up some scrap paper. I don't know if you guys saw my little slider card. Let's see. So this is a magic slider card. So when I created this, I kind of played around with the design a little bit when I was creating this magic slider. So I have a variety of this kind of polka dot paper left over. So I just combined that paper with the artfully composed paper to create the cards today. So I wanted to use up those scraps and use up some of my designer paper. So if you haven't seen the magic slider card idea, you should definitely go check that out. I linked to it in the description with this video, so you can go check it out. It's really a very cool card and just kind of fun to create. So, all right, you guys. So this is what we're making. This is the stamp set that I'm using, Turtle Friends. So it just has a variety of fun little images in it. And I will show you just kind of some of the basic designs. And then I'll show you some other cards that I created with this design as well. So let me move some of this out of the way here. I think we'll start with this one. So we'll start with this design. So this is a pretty simple design. So if you were following along with me um, yesterday, I had shared that I was in the process of using up a whole pack of designer paper to make these cards, these little you're as sweet as a peach. So this is the design that I used to make the 72 cards. So it's this basic design. And you can, if you cut your papers, like I'm about to tell you, you will be able to cut enough designer paper to make 72 cards from one entire pack of paper. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so here are the pieces that I have. So I have two pieces that are cut at 1 by 5 1/4 inches. So those are my outer pieces for this little design. And then my center piece is cut at 2 by 5 1/4 inches. So that's the basic concept for the design. It's a very simple design. And it's a great way to use up your designer paper because you can really use this design with a variety of different stamp sets and, different punch shapes or die cut shapes. So you're basically just going to be adhering the pieces side by side. So I like to start on the left just to create my designs. And then I could just put this one right up against it and then add this one. And like I said, you can really use this layout with just about anything. All right, so that's the basic layout. So I'm going to show you, let me grab the stamp set here. I'm going to show you this turtle stamp set. I don't know if you've seen this. It's just really super cute. So what I'm going to do is just stamp this little outline of this turtle. I'm going to just ink it up with some Memento ink. And maybe we'll make 2 of them right away. So I'm just stamping it on a scrap piece of white cardstock. And then I'm just gonna color this little guy in using my Stampin' Blend. So this one is Granny Apple Green. So you can, I'm gonna show you a little trick after we get some color added here. But you can use any, you know, any coloring tools that you want to. You guys know I love to use my Stampin' Blends. So I'm going to use that to color this little guy in. Now the cool thing about this bundle is it has a little punch. So you can punch this shape out. So you don't have to, cut it out by hand, which is super. And I tend to like punches. I mean, I like die cut shapes too, but punches are quick and simple. So I don't know what you guys think about the punches. I'll just color in one for right now. I'm going to make some more cards after this video, so I'll save this little guy for for that. And then I'm going to add some Old Olive here. Oops, I forgot to color his tail. I'm going to color his tail. There. Okay, so now I'm going to add the little shell design. So I'm just going to use some Old Olive ink. And I just inked up my pad, so it's kind of pretty juicy. It might run together. Oh, looks pretty good. So you can add that little shell design simply by stamping it. So it's really cool. So if you don't want to do a lot of coloring, you can just stamp the image like on a green. In this case, I'm using the green. You can just stamp the image on a green piece of paper and then punch it out instead of doing the coloring like I just did. So now I'm just going to put this in the little punch and line it up. And let's make sure we don't cut off his tail. There we go. Just line it up, and then you have a cute little embellishment for your card. All right, so we'll bring back this card idea here, this design. So the next thing I did is just took one of these little doilies. These are those Heart and Home doilies. So they have, I think it's cinnamon, cider, misty moonlight, and then maybe basic gray. So there's 3 different colors for the doilies. I like to use the white side. So I'm just going to add this to my card. It makes a great little die cut shape, so you don't have to cut anything out. So I like that. It's quick and simple. I like quick and simple. All right, so I'm going to add some dimensionals to this little guy here. So I'm using some of the dimensionals on the end. I like to cut these little strips because, especially for this little turtle, these little strips of dimensionals fit really nicely on the legs. So you can get those in there. So and it's a great way to use up the end pieces. So there we go. So we'll pop this little guy up. And then I just cut a 1/2 inch wide by 4-inch piece of just some Pear Pizzazz cardstock. So this will just kind of go across the bottom with my greeting on it. So like I said, it's a pretty quick and simple card. And there's lots of ways you can use it. I'll show you the peach one in just a minute. There we go. We'll put this on the bottom. And then you can just embellish it with whatever you want. I used some of those classic matte dots to embellish mine, but you can use whatever you want to embellish it. And let me grab this other one. just so that you can kind of see the contrast here. So it's the same basic design. It's just completely different designer paper. And on this one, I just kind of stamped the greeting right into the doily, whereas this one I popped up some, a little embellishment, a little turtle there. So there's lots of different ways that you can use this design. And you can create a lot of cards with it. So, and then on the inside, I just continued to use up some of my scraps. I like to use all my scraps up to decorate the inside of the card. All right, so this next one that I want to share with you, I was playing around with some of my punches. So this is this postage stamp punch. So what I basically did is I just cut out 6 pieces. So I have 6 different pieces here, 3 from that polka dot design, and then 3 from the Artfully Composed designer paper. And all I did was just kind of alternate them, just laid them on my card front like this. And then I turned these pieces. So instead of laying these straight, I turned these pieces on their side. So that would be the landscape position, I guess. And then I just created this little background. So you can do this with any of your punches. I like to use the punch shapes to create, just some fun little backgrounds for my cards. So you don't necessarily need the postage stamp here. You can use any of them. And it's a great way to use up some designer paper. So if you got lots of scraps, this is a great way to use up your scraps. Just punch them in different shapes and then add them to your card. So you just go all the way around and add all these pieces, and then we'll decorate it. There we go. And here's the last one. So I wasn't too concerned about the center of my card because I'm going to be covering that up with a doily, so you won't see any of that. So I just kind of wanted to create like a little border. So this doily I'm just going to pop up on the card. And then I'm going to add another one of our little turtle friends here. So we'll add that. And then we'll add our little greeting kind of off to the side. Well, there you go. Another just fun and simple card. And again, you can just decorate it with, add whatever embellishments you want, and then use up some of your scraps on the inside. So there's the second card idea for you. And then this particular card, let's see, I got to find my stuff here. I had some leftover rectangular shapes from creating, let me grab my slider cards. So this is the rectangular shape that I cut out of my slider card. So of course you can't throw away these pieces. You have to use them on a card, right? At least I do. So I decided to use this just in the center of the card just to kind of create a fun little backdrop. And then I just added some additional designer papers. So this is the basic design. So these pieces are 1 inch wide and they're 4 inches long. And this centerpiece here is about 2.5-ish by 4. So that's really the basic design. Just wanted to use these pieces up. So these have the little stitching on them. So you definitely can't throw away pieces that have stitching on them. Can't throw away die cut pieces. All right, so we'll just add one above and one below, and that is our basic design. And there we go. And now we can just add our little doily. As you guys know, I love my doilies and I love my paper tearing. So there's my little doily. And then I'll just add my little turtle. So I colored a lot of these turtles ahead of time, but I wanted to at least, show you how to do one. But I colored all these turtles the same. So, and then there is our little greeting. And there you go. Another quick and simple design. And then again, I just added a couple little embellishments on there just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. And again, this time I changed and put my designer paper down here instead of on the side, but it's just a great way to decorate the inside of your cards and use up some of your scrap papers. And then here is the next card. So I will get all these cards up on my blog for you. Get you some of the dimensions here when I'm done. So for this one, it really just involves two pieces of paper. So I used up one of those rectangular shapes again. And then this piece is just a 4 by 4 1/4 inch piece that I'm putting right on the front of the card. So this will go right in the middle here. And then I'm just going to overlay this piece, just kind of off center it a little bit so that it's coming off this side of the card, the right side. And then we'll just add our little doily. So you can see how quick and simple these cards are. So when I told you I made 72, it does, obviously it takes a little bit of time to cut all the pieces, but once you cut everything, the assembly goes really quick. There's our little turtle. And then we'll add our little greeting off this direction. Just gonna tuck that underneath there. There's our little greeting. Well, there you go. So what is that, number 4? That is number 4. So that's what this card looks like. Just cute. I like this little stamp set, just a cute little guy. And then here is the last one that I have for you. So this one, again, is another simple design. Great way to use up scraps. And these are the pieces. So I have a 3 by 4 inch piece, which is this one. So we'll adhere this one first. So that is 3 by 4. And then this one is 2 1/4 by 2. So the 2 1/4 inch side goes up towards the top. And then the 2-inch side is on the side. And then this piece we want is the same size. So this is 2 1/4 by 2. So there you go. And so that's the basic design. And then we just jazz it up with whatever we want. So we'll add our doily. And then I'll add this little turtle. And then the greeting. So it's cute. And that's it. And then, of course, your little embellishments and whatever else you want to add. And of course, you can stamp on the inside. I typically leave mine blank so that I can write a personalized message, but you can definitely stamp on the inside as well. All right, so let's bring some of these back. I'm going to just show you. Let's see, where did my peach cards go? There. So this is what the peach one looks like. And then I already showed you this one. So it's the exact same layout. It's just different, materials that I use, different pattern paper and different embellishments, but the exact same layout. So just really, really fun and easy card designs that you can use over and over again. All right, let's bring out some of these cards here. And then the other card that I created, I just kind of used up, I had stamped this on the wrong size paper when I was creating the slider card. So I just couldn't get rid of it because he was cute. So I just cut him out and then added him to a different card. So that was just another fun little idea. So even though you made a mistake, I made a mistake. I definitely didn't throw it away. I just used it on a different card. So, all right, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed these card ideas and gave you some fun ways to use your designer paper. Like I said, you don't need anything special to create these cards. You just need some designer paper and whatever stamp sets and embellishments you have on hand. So, all right. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday, and I will get these cards out on the blog for you so that you have some of the measurements to create them. And I will share some more fun ideas with you next week. So take care, everybody. Have a great week.